What's up, nerds and gamers from all walks of life? Just in case you didn't know, my name's Justin, and welcome to my channel, Just In Case Gaming. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you a DM or a player? Either way, today what we are reviewing is gonna be very handy for either a dungeon master or a player. So, what we have to review today is the Deck of Minis, Animated Spells, Cantrips Volume 1, and the Deck of Mini Animated Things. You know, the Deck of Mini that can either kill you or make you rich. We have both of them that we are going to be doing a deep dive into today. And I wanted to first of all thank the Deck of Mini for allowing us to review these two amazing decks. They're animated and show you exactly what that spell or particular card exactly does. So, without further ado, let's see what kind of spells and trickery the Deck of Mini Animated Spells and Deck of Mini Animated Things has in store for us today. Follow me! Alright gamers, here we are again, back at the whiteboard, and today we are going to be taking a look at some of the animated cards by the Deck of Mini. They were kind enough to send us these review copies right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and dive in to the first one here, which is the Deck of Mini Animated Things. And as you can see right there, he's like banging on this void energy, and it says that it is for D&D 5e. You just tilt to animate the cards. It shows you a couple of the cards there on the back. The Deck of Mini Animated Things, the classic magical artifact brought to life. Allow your players to draw from the real deck and see their fate animate before them with a simple tilt of the card. Will it be riches or ruin? Ultimate power or total annihilation? Let the deck decide. Who said Doom couldn't be fun? Contents, 23 animated tarot-sized cards and the rule booklet. So let's just go ahead. Now, this deck box is made of a very premium feeling material. It's kind of this matte texture. We'll just go ahead and they're snug as a bug in the rug in there. Go ahead and put that there. Here is the rule booklet. We'll go through that in just a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at our first card, which is the Void. And you can see that demonic entity in the back there holding up the soul of this hapless individual, and he's just banging away. His soul is trapped in this void. It is gorgeous. And the card stock is very premium feeling. I believe they also said that this is either water resistant material or something like that. And it has some fabulous artwork on the back. Now, it doesn't tell you what these specific cards do on the back, like the animated spells do. That's why it comes with the instruction booklet. So there's the Void. We'll go ahead and place him right there. That's the Void. Now we can actually go through this and take a look at what the Void does. This black card spells disaster. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choice. One or more powerful beings guard the place while your soul is trapped. In this way, your body is incapacitated. A wish spell can't restore your soul, but the spell reveals the location of the object that holds it. You draw no more cards. That is a terrifying card to get when you're drawing from here. But let's take a look at the next card. This is Balance. And it when you animate it there, there's a demon on one side and an angelic being on the other. And this artwork is amazing. And it has that that feel of the normal kinds of little 3D animated cards That like scratchy, I don't really know what you would describe that as. Same backing, almost like a tree of life on there. But the balance card, your mind suffers a wrenching alteration, causing your alignment to change. Lawful becomes chaotic, good becomes evil, vice versa. If you're true, neutral, or aligned, this card has no effect on you. So we'll go ahead and put that card there. And let's take a look at the next card. Now that's some cool artwork. You see the dragon right there in the corner, and he's getting ready to attack. You have some undead creatures that are all grabby hands right there. And then you have the player character engulfed in this energy. And that is some slick animation. I think it's like 8 frames of animation that they put into these cards, and it is quite spectacular what they're able to accomplish with just that many frames of animation. Wow. You can see all the stars gleaming in the background there. There's the back. And the comment, if you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or your group of monsters you encounter. I think I read that. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you gain experience points enough to gain 1 level. Otherwise, this card has no effect. Wow. That is something else. All right. So you can either be a bad mamma jamma or get nothing. The Donjon card. And you have what appears to be some kind of character in a stasis of some sort, just floating there in an orb of energy. And I like these cubes and how you can see that there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of other people that have met the same fate. And then you have the energy streaming down the cubes there. Reminds me of something off of Tron. Here's the back of the card. And the Donjon card. Let's see. You disappear and become entombed in a state of suspended animation in an extra-dimensional sphere. Everything you're wearing stays behind in a space occupied when you disappear. Wow. That is, that's pretty horrible. You could really mess up your players with these cards if you decide to let them find the deck of many things. Because that's what this is the deck of many things, if you have not already gathered that. So we have Uriel, what appears to be some kind of Medusa, looking at herself in a mirror, blinking with the snakes wriggling. I love that animation with the snakes there and just her contemplating. I think that's a really cool animation. And here is what it does. This card's Medusa-like visage curses you. You can take a -2 penalty on saving throws while cursed in this way. Only a god or the magic of the Fates card can end this curse. So there's a lot of really bad cards that you can get in this deck, but it's all random. You draw it at random. You mix these cards up, and this is one of my favorite cards, the Fates. You have these 3 individuals of unknown origin, unknown gender, that have this scroll, and when they tap the scroll with that feather quill, it explodes into this galactic energy. I can't really tell if this is flames or if it's blood. Maybe it's signing it in blood. And then you have these orbs of magical energies, maybe time and space, dimensional energies that are coming out of there. There's the back. And the Fates. Reality fabric unravels and spins anew, allowing you to avoid or erase one event as if it never happened. That is a crazy card. And that could uproot an entire campaign. Everything that you've done. DMs, beware of that card. Players, if you get that one, I think you'll probably be pretty happy. Here's Flames. Very Disney. It reminds me of Turnabog from Disney. If you all have seen Fantasia, that's who this card reminds me of. You have the flames growing in the front there, and the demon coming through the flames. And basically what this card does is a powerful devil becomes your enemy and seeks your ruin. That is a pretty terrifying card as well. Next up, we have Fool. You have this man who is being tormented, rain plowing down on him. He looks absolutely either terrified or distressed. You have the lightning crackling in the background there. And the effect of this card is you lose 10,000 XP. Discard this card and draw from the deck again, counting both draws as one of your declared draws. That sucks. Wow. All right, this seems like a boon card. This seems like a good one. Gem. You have an elven character right there, staring up into the sky, and it's raining gemstones. And again, they did fantastic with this artwork. 25 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 50 gems worth of 1,000 gold appears at your feet. It's a good card. It's a good card to get. Make yourself rich. Gotta get that money. All right, next up, we have the Idiot. And it seems as if his mind is shattering. Maybe he learned some kind of secret that is just tearing him apart. Permanently reduce your intelligence by 1d4 plus 1. You draw one additional card beyond your declared draws. So that basically just makes you more stupid. That's great. Everybody loves that. As if some of our PCs and DMs didn't make enough interesting choices. You just have to make your player characters have even more choices. I'm not going to say anybody's stupid, but hey, it all happens. We all know that one guy or gal in our crew. And we have the Jester here, and I really like that animation. You have this court jester standing in front of either some kind of stained glass window or something, just clapping around. Gain 10,000 XP, or you can draw 2 additional cards. That's a good card. Or it could be bad. You could destroy everything. Maybe you draw the Void card next. Key, you have this hero character that has some kind of what looks like a key card. Boom. Transforms into a blazing sword. That is really cool. You also have this like magical energies behind them, rotating in circular fashions, maybe even some runes along there. A rare or rarer magic weapon appears which you are proficient with. GM chooses this weapon. That could be a very good card, unless your DM chooses to give you one of those living weapons that has a mind of its own. Knight. So we have maybe some kind of princess or just one of your characters. This is a very feminine figure here, to me at least. It might not be to you. And then you have a knight appearing in a blast of radiant energy. And basically this card, you gain service of a 4th level fighter who appears in front of you and is loyal to you until death. All right, next up, we're gonna go kind of quickly here because we still have the other deck and this video is getting kind of long. We have Moon, and you have the Moon, obviously, with some comets coming down. This artwork, it just reminds me of a comic book or maybe like a TV show, almost Adventure Time kind of drawings. You're granted with the wish spell 1d3 times. Dang, that could be good. Wow. Or it could be really annoying for a GM. The Rogue card. So you have this shady character with a fog or smoke enveloping them. And basically a NPC of unknown identity becomes your enemy and hunts you down. I think some people have definitely heard of this card. It is Ruin. And if you get this card, as you can see from the animation here, it can definitely turn your game to ruin. Maybe I can do this and see if that helps the animation a little bit more. Yeah, look at that. Bam. All right, so the Ruin card, what do? All forms of wealth that you carry or own other than magical items are lost. Portable property vanishes. Buildings, businesses, and land you own are lost in a way that alters reality the least. Any documentation that proves you should own something is lost. So basically, you just lose everything that you have to that card. Next up, we have this super cool animation of a skull. And I like how it starts off with just those gleaming eyes and then bam, skull comes out of the smoke. All right, you summon an avatar of death, a ghostly humanoid skeleton clad in a tattered black robe carrying a spectral scythe. Oh, so basically you get to fight death with that card. So you can either win and everybody is going to say, good job, or you're going to die a horrible, painful death. So we have the star card here, and I don't know about anybody else, but that looks like a particular character from a certain online game of Dungeons and Dragons that you can stream. Critical Role, anyone? This looks like a certain bard that I think we all know. And increase one of your ability scores by 2. The score can't exceed 20. It can exceed 20, but can't exceed 24. That's a cool card. Next up, we have Sun. Boom. Somebody just exploding in a radiant blaze of flames. You gain 50,000 XP. And a wondrous item appears in your hands. Dang, that's a good card. Next up, we have Talons. So you have this clawed figure destroying some kind of magical orb, and you have electric energies coming from it. Every magic item you wear or carry disintegrates. Oh my God. You could really make some players mad with that card. Jeez Louise. Throne. You have this guy that is standing in front of what looks like 2 golems and a ton of other monsters in the background. And there's the throne that he is ready to try and take. You gain proficiency in the persuasion skill. And basically you have a keep somewhere in the world, but in order to claim that keep, you have to defeat all of the monsters that are within it. So we have the Vizier next, and you have this magical energies coming from the forehead surrounding the cranium. And anytime you choose within 1 year of drawing this card, you can ask a question in meditation and mentally receive the truthful answer to that question, helping you solve a puzzle, problem, or other dilemma. Wow. And then the last card, but not least, we have the Avatar of Death itself. So that skull card that we drew earlier, that does it for the instruction manual on here. You have the Avatar of Death, and this is just basically death that is coming to kill you. And here is its stat block on the back. You all can pause the video and read that if you would like. And that does it for the deck of mini animated things. And then next up, we're gonna have to probably do this one a little bit quicker. I'll take it out of the box here. All right. Now this one doesn't come with a separate instruction booklet. Everything is just self-contained on the card itself. First up, we have Eldritch Blast. And these are your Cantrips, Volume 1. Again, works with D&D 5e. Bring all of your favorite low-level spells out of the book and onto the table. This is going to be, there's 24 spell cards and 6 custom cards. And again, it's that same premium material. So if you've ever gotten tired of just flipping through your player handbook or DMs, just asking exactly what a particular spell does, you can just have them right there out on your table. If you want to pause and check out Eldritch Blast, that's what it does. I love that spell. That's really cool. All right, next up, another cantrip. We have Acid Splash. And that's really cool. You have this glob of acid that just explodes. There's Acid Splash, Conjuration Cantrip. You hurl a bubble of acid. That would really hurt. Next up, we have Chill Touch. I have used this spell many, many times. I absolutely adore it. And speaking of Chill Touch, if you have not checked out the Icewind Dale videos that we have reviewed on this channel, as in the case unboxing or the Chardland Dragon or the adventure book, check it out. You can use this spell in that game. Add to it. And there's Chill Touch, Necromancy Cantrip. You can go ahead and pause the video and check that out if you want to. Next up, we have Dancing Lights. So you have these 4 dancing lights that are just going around in an intricate spherical design. And it looks really pretty. Evocation Cantrip. There's Dancing Lights. Next up, we have Druid Craft. So you have this blossom that is opening up, and it has some magical energies spouting from it, or maybe that's pollen shooting up into the air. And it looks like some kind of cherry blossom tree. It's really beautiful. There's Druid Craft, Transmutation Cantrip. Next up, we have Firebolt. So you just have a bolt of flames that is hitting the back end of this card. It looks really cool. There's Firebolt, Evocation Cantrip. Again, for anybody that wants to know what these do, just pause the video and you can see exactly what it does. There's Guidance, so you have an elf that is having some kind of secret told to him, or some kind of information. You touch one wailing creature, Divination Cantrip, bada bing, bada boom. Gorgeous artwork. Again, I am blown away by what they are able to do with these. So you have just a regular sword, and then bam, it has this gleaming light that comes from the sword. That is so cool. Seeing all of these spells imagined into these little animations is amazing, because sometimes some people they have a problem envisioning what some of these spells may look like. And that's where your DM should be doing a good job at relaying that information. But maybe you don't. Maybe you can't really imagine it, and that's where these spell cards come in handy. So you have this Ghostly Hand flipping a coin. That's Mage Hand, Conjuration Cantrip. Next up, we have Mending. Everybody loves mending. So you have a magical key here that's broken, and then that magical energy swoops around it and makes it whole again. I am just blown away by this artwork. So here we have a dwarf that has some kind of energies going to his ear. This is Message, if you've ever wondered what Message looks like. And then that's what it does. Minor Illusion. There's a crate. Bam! It's a treasure chest. How cool is that? My ADD would just go crazy. Just looking at these, I could just do this all day. Next up, Poison Spray. So you have a cloud of poison that is just going through there. There's poison spray. Next up, we have prestidigitation. So there's the candle. It lights up. It's amazing. Or it's getting blown out. Whatever way that you want to look at it. There's prestidigitation, transmutation cantrip. That's a long one. You can do a lot of things with that. Next up, we have produce flame. It's a hand that has a ball of fire that is just being produced right there. And there's that conjuration for you. Next up, we have ray of frost. This is a really cool one. You just have this beam of frost, kind of like from Pokemon. Anybody familiar with Ice Beam? And then you have these shards of ice breaking off right there. That's really cool. Ray of Frost. Evocation cantrip. Next up, we have the dude from the Matrix. Look at this. He's getting shot at. He just matrixed out of the way right there. Resistance. There's resistance. Abjuration cantrip. It's a funny word, abjuration. Sacred flame. This is a cool spell. Boom, look at that. Oh, those runic symbols. That's so cool. And there's the back. And everybody shitter and we talk about the shillelagh. Ooh. Pardon my my accents there. Sometimes they just come out. So we have a club that has this plant-like energy and these thorns that are coming from it. And it does exactly what you think it would. Creates the shillelagh of death. We have shocking grasp. Boom. There's a ghostly hand coming out, shooting off these electrical energies. That's so cool. There's the back. Next card, Spare the Dying. Dead pigeon, a live pigeon, or a dove. Whatever you want to look at it as. It's so sad. This little pigeon is just in a state of everlasting torment. There's the back. Now, this is a really interesting way to show thaumaturgy. The eyes changing colors, because that's one of the things that you can do. And that's interesting that they went with this choice for thaumaturgy. There's the back. This cantrip does a lot of things. Next up, we have True Strike. Ouch, that eyeball is hurting. Bam. That eyeball just gets hit with that arrow in it. And that is so cool how they're able to get that animation of the arrow just traveling. That's so neat. Wow. There's the back. I am really hoping that I'll be able to one day get all of the rest of these cards. I believe there's 10 decks of cards. Here's Vicious Mockery. So you have all of these clouds of cackling magic mouths. Everybody knows bards love using that. So that does it for all of the cantrip cards itself. And then these are the cards that you can create your own spells with. So these were like leftover animations that they had, or animations that they decided to swap out for different ones. So they allow you to take your own interpretation. What does that spell look like it'll do? And then you can just create that on your own. You have a very Adventure Time looking skull. That kind of looks like the Lich to me. And then there's some energy coming out of him. That's the back. And the backs of these cards are dry erase marker friendly. So you can just take a dry erase marker and go along the backs of those. Next up, we have this super cool ripple of energy. It's really neat. I can't wait to come up with some different spells for these. We have this really cool animation of different weapons being tossed at this other player's weapons, and it is just protecting them, disintegrating the other weapons. That's really cool. There's the back. And then last but not least, we have a Bulbasaur using Vine Whip. No. There's some kind of vine coming out of the ground, or a tentacle, or a tendril. And that is the last of the spell cards. So today we have taken a look at the deck of animated things, and we have taken a look at the first of many of the different spells. We have Volume 1, Cantrips. My final thoughts on these decks of cards. I have wanted these for years. I've wanted this kind of system where you have the cards already there and showing exactly what it is that they look like. And this is just the epitome of what a dungeon master or players want to use at the table. Not everybody likes sitting there trying to remember, well, what does this spell do? Or what does this spell look like? Or maybe the DM is like, how on earth am I supposed to interpret the way that this spell looks and works to my player characters? And with these cards, you don't have to worry about what do they look like. It gives you a little snippet of exactly what it looks like when you use it. So I think that this is a fantastic tool for not only dungeon masters, but player characters as well. I cannot think of a better tool to have in your arsenal. This is really a huge help. And I again wanted to thank the Deck of Many for being so kind as to send these to us to review. And I am looking forward to seeing the rest of these cards. And I'll be putting out videos showing off the rest of those whenever we are able to get those in. I just think that if you are a DM or a player character that uses a lot of spells or uses the Deck of Many things, and guess what? That's all of us. We all use a lot of spells. I say pick these up. It is 100% worth your money. Go on to the deckofmany.com and you can pick up these decks either one by one, or I believe they are having a sale on the Deck of Many website right now where you can pick up all of the decks for a discounted rate. So head on over to the deckofmany.com and check them out. So gamers, that wraps up my review and take on the Deck of Many's Animated Spells Cantrips Volume 1 and the Deck of Many Animated Things. Two decks that are sure to bring life to your game table. And also on the deckofmany.com, you can not only pick these up, but you can pick up all of the other decks that they have available. They have so many different ones that I'm sure will bring tons of fun and life to your gaming table. I wanted to thank each and every single one of you for giving me your time here today. And I also wanted to say the Halloween season is about to begin. And here on Just In Case Gaming, we're going to be trying to get some very creepy things to reveal to you guys. We're going to be taking a look at some blasts from the past and some things that you can integrate into your game that might not necessarily be D&D, but you could possibly use them on your gaming table. And I wanted to say, you better be subscribed. So if you are not subscribed to the Just In Case Gaming channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're liking what we're doing here on the channel, go ahead and drop a like as well. I wanted to thank you all again and just say, be safe out there, be nerdy, and I'll see you in the next video.